at the Shines Good Fortune. I have a very important video here. Now this is kind of a update to a video that I did a couple months ago. I'm going to post that video in the description box and comment section. And it was just about a demonic entity that came to me and stood at the foot of my bed in the middle of the night. And you know, I just kind of went into details about the experience, but I didn't really have any answers for anyone. I don't like to leave a cliffhanger. I like to get to the bottom of things and why something happened. And let me say, spirits sometimes is not going to tell us why something happened or give us complete details. In some cases they do tell us, in some cases they don't. In this case, they did give me some information. I don't know if this is all the information, but this is what they gave me. So that video was basically about, like I said, entity that came to me in the middle of the night, at the foot of my bed. This was a very traumatic experience for me. I think when I tell the story, it sounds kind of comical, you know, the way I'm explaining it, but it wasn't. Imagine laying in your bed, middle of the night, you're laying next to someone. At the time I was in a relationship. And so I'm next to someone, so, you know, you would think I would feel protected. But then I wake up and there looks like to be a male at the foot of my bed. He had huge eyes. I mean, bulging. He didn't even blink. I don't remember this thing even blinking. Had huge eyes, standing in the foot of my bed, kind of diagonal. Not right in front of me at the foot, but in front of my ex at the foot of the bed. So diagonal from me on my left side. And I remember just looking at it, and the only thing I heard in my mind was, oh, it happened. And then me just going back to sleep. And after some time went past, I woke up. I tried to wake my ex up, and then when I looked over to that spot, the entity was gone. I felt fear, terror, all these emotions, and it was like I had a delayed response. When it was in front of me, I didn't have that reaction, but when it left, you know, then I went to sleep, which was an odd reaction. It completely altered my reaction. So anyway, I asked Spirit today. I couldn't take it anymore because I was afraid to talk about it. Only person I had talked to it about the situation was the person that was there that night, who was not woken up. He was asleep. And a psychic medium. She had been doing readings for like 30 years. And when I mentioned this to her, she seemed afraid. Not afraid, but she just said the entity wasn't there to help me, but it wasn't there. She said it wasn't there to harm me, but it wasn't there to help me either. She just basically said it wasn't there to help me, and that I need to protect myself and watch those type of things. And I'm like, protect myself how? Like, I wanted to see something, but I did not request to see that. That's not what I called. My energy did not call that thing in. Okay. So let's get to the bottom of this. So what happened? Who was it? I pulled some cards, but guys, I use cards still, but some answers you need to build your telepathy up, because sometimes the cards can't give you certain answers. I mean, so for me, my abilities have advanced to where, you know, I still use cards when I do readings, obviously, but I have telepathy as well, to where they just download information where I don't even need the cards. So I'm just going to let you guys know what they told me happened. Some of this is very scientific. They explained it to me in very simplistic terms, the way my human mind could understand it. So let's first get to the first question. Was this entity positive? I asked Spirit that, and I got walking away and 7 of Wands. No. And if you don't even know cards, look at these cards. Walking, no, look at that card. That's being on the defense. That means no. Whenever I ask the question from Spirit and I get these cards, that means no. Walking away. It was not positive. I already knew that. Okay, because you guys have to understand something. I have a very close relationship with Spirit. I have a relationship with them. They love me. I love them. I have a lot of people that have died in my lineage that's on the other side. I burn money for my ancestors. They do not manifest in front of me. Now, that's not my ability. They like to download information and work through the cards, or download information, which gives me telepathy. You guys may have the ability where you can see spirits. That is not how they come to me. So I already knew when this thing was standing at the foot of my bed, because I could have been naked. I wasn't naked, but that's a violation. That's an intruder. That's not, you don't come to somebody in the middle of the night at the foot of their bed. If a human head came through the door and you woke up and it was a human male at the foot of your bed, and you didn't recognize him, you already know something bad is about to happen. So why would you think otherwise if it's an entity? Okay. So I already knew, and then the room felt different when it left, when it was in. So I'm gonna get into that. Anyway, they said it was not a good entity. Now, in the good or bad range, it's on the badder side. I don't think this entity was the worst entity that ever lived. It's negative, definitely negative. Definitely negative, but they're saying there's other entities, it's other beings that are worse than this one. And I don't want to meet them. So look at it like how you look at humans. You know, there's humans where they're really good humans, and there's some humans that's borderline. And you got some that are really bad, and you got some that are real bad. This one was a bad one. It was on a badder side. Was it the worst that ever lived? No, but it was definitely a bad entity. They said it was not good. It wasn't a positive one, not at all. Okay. Now, I asked Spirit, what was it doing? Why was it bothering me? Why was it in my room in the middle of the night? Like I said, these entities, they make house visits. So just know. I said, why was it there? Got the Hermit. Two, because I think that, okay, Two of Cups. Look at that. 10 of Wands. All right. Now, this is what they said to me. They said it was feeding off of my energy like a battery. Oh, yeah, you guys. It said this entity, the reason why it was bothering me, because it was feeding off my energy like a battery. I'm assuming we give off an energy that we can't see with the human eyes. So I'm assuming that all of us, maybe that's our vibration, our auric field, I don't know, but apparently we give off an energy. They think we are energy, but they said it was feeding off of my energy like a battery. Now, the Two of Cups, this deals with a relationship. What do you do in a relationship? You exchange energy. When you're intimate with someone, when you exchange energy. Right now, this entity did not touch me. I want to make this very clear. It was 10 feet, it was not 10 feet, it was like a foot away from me. And it was able to psychically overpower me. And I guess they said it was feeding off my energy without even touching me, you guys. It did not touch me. I promise you it didn't. It was able to wake me up, put me back to sleep, and it was a foot from me. Now, speaking of that, I watched a movie called They Cloned Tyrone on Netflix. You guys should look at that. I believe they put some of the truth in these movies. Also, in that movie, they was influencing the people in this community. It was a black community. They was putting chemicals in the food, in the chicken, and hair relaxers, encouraging black women that straight hair looks better, so they can put this chemical in the relaxer, and these women are straightening their hair, and it was making them docile. Okay, it was dumbing them down. You think they're lying in these movies? Okay, the environment in this particular black community was filled with prostitutes, drug dealers, and pimps. They was experimenting on them. Also in this movie, the man was able to mind control the guy. He had a word he used, and he was able to make this guy do whatever he wanted him to do through mind control. He didn't even have to touch him. He was standing about 5 feet away from him and told him, put the gun in your mouth. He told a man to put his own gun in his mouth. He did it. He said, grab her. If you look at the movie, he's able to control this man, use mind control. They also used television. They was encouraging people through promotion and advertisement to eat chicken. And that chicken, they had chemicals in the chicken, y'all. And the chemicals in the chicken had them laughing and acting a damn fool. They put some of the truth in the movie. If you look at the movie Monsters, where these monsters would go into these children's room at night and scare them and they was coming from different dimensions. They would scare them, and they would the fear that the children had. So the monsters would scare the children. And the fear that the children would have, the monsters, I think, could capture that the energy of fear had a vibration or energy they can use better in their realm. Now, they said this entity was feeding off of my energy like a battery. Interesting. Just listen to what I'm saying. Okay. As we continue, I asked Spirit, why did the entity not bother or wake up my ex-boyfriend? I got the Magician, King of Earth, that's my ex-boyfriend, and this is the High Priestess. This is someone not having something. This is a non-movement card, all right? So this is my ex, this is him, he's a magician, he got these resources, and they're saying he didn't have something. He didn't have what they wanted. I keep saying what this entity wanted. So this is what Spirit said. They said that my ex was considered a low food source because of his low frequency. Y'all, this is what they're saying. They're saying that the entity did not want to. He served no purpose. This experience was not for him. He served no purpose. Basically, and that's what his high priest. This is talking about a person having something, resources, having something that you want, but no, they don't have it. And basically, this is abundance, resources, and they're saying, but the high priest, he didn't have what they were looking for. I keep saying they for some reason. What it was looking for. They specifically said to me, my ex was considered a low food source because of his low frequency. That's it. So remember I told you it felt like it created a force field, like it wasn't supposed to be in this realm. Y'all, that thing was not from this realm. I don't think it was an alien. I don't know what I don't think it was a ghost. Remember I said I don't feel like, if you look at my last video, I did not feel it was a ghost or an alien. I felt like it was from a different realm, dimension, something. It was from somewhere else. So I asked Spirit, because when it left, the room changed. It's like it altered my whole way of thinking, my emotions when it was here. When it was gone, everything went back to normal. I asked Spirit, did it create a force field to come into this realm? The words that Spirit said to me, it created a magnetic charge. Guys, I'm not very good with chemistry, scientific things. They're trying to explain this to me in the most simplistic way possible. They said they did not use the word force field. They said it created a magnetic charge. I don't know. That's what it said. Remember I told you guys that it put me to sleep and woke me up. I asked Spirit to psychically overpower me. They just said it paralyzed me. That's all they said. They said it paralyzed me. Once again, it paralyzed me, meaning it was able to put me to sleep and wake me up. I look at that as it's psychically overpowering me. They use the word paralyze me. They say this entity paralyzed me. Nothing to these entities. If you try to swing on them or hit them, like I said, they can control you from a foot away from you. They don't have to touch you to do anything. They can overpower you. I consider it mind control. They can overpower you mentally. I've seen people who say they have been taken by aliens, and when they tried to attack the alien, it just mentally stopped them. It was able to basically paralyze you to where you can't hit them or do anything. So I haven't been consciously. I don't remember being taken by aliens. I just know I had. I don't think this thing was an alien though. I know they're telling me it paralyzed me. That's why I couldn't do certain things. Because naturally I would have wanted to hit it or jump towards it, and I didn't. Like it changed my whole way of thinking. Like I didn't even think to be violent or to yell or anything. I was just like, oh, it happened, and I just went back to sleep. And then when I woke up, I was like, oh my God! And I woke my ex up, and I just felt all this fear and this terror, and I'm like, it paralyzed me to where I couldn't react really. I asked Spirit, where did it come from? It said from another realm. It says the realm is unrecognizable to me, that I cannot access it in my physical body and I cannot see it. So wherever it come from, they didn't tell me the name of it. They said wherever it is, they tell me the realm that this entity came from, it's unrecognizable to me. I can't see it. In my physical body, I cannot see it. I'm not able to access it in my physical body, and I can't see it. It's unrecognizable. I'm not aware of it. I asked Spirit, how was it able to see me? Like, how was it able to see me? Now, this is when they use the word force field. They say it created a force field. And I guess it uses magnetic charge to do it, some type of magnetic energy. But they say it created a force field, and that this entity is more advanced. So wherever it comes from, the rest of them, wherever realm it comes from, they're more advanced to where they can create these force fields or whatever. Well, that's what I would call it in my human way of thinking, a force field where they can create a force field and then enter whatever realm they want or whatever. It was able to enter this realm through creating a force field because it's more advanced, and it just was able to do it. But they called it like I said, magnetic charge. I once again asked Spirit, why was I chosen? Now they said that it was feeding off of my energy like a battery, but I said, but why me though? And it said because of a magnetic pull and a frequency charge. I don't know what this means. It says something about my magnetic pull, something about me that deals with a magnetic pull and my frequency charge. Now they mentioned my ex had a low frequency, so he was considered a low food source. And so with me, whatever my energy I'm putting off, it was able to feed off the energy that I had. And it was feeding off of it like I'm okay. So to them, I'm a battery, and they are feeding off of, you know, the Matrix. How they talk about we're batteries. Like I said, they put a lot of the real stuff in the movies, you guys. Like because in the Matrix, if you look at that movie, they talk about like using humans as batteries and stuff like that, as energy, as a food source, as an energy source. So they say it was feeding off of my energy like I'm a battery, and that something about my magnetic pull and my frequency charge. Something about, I don't know. It's a frequency charge they was getting from me. It's a magnetic pull / frequency charge. Now that's what they saying. And that's why I was chosen. Only way I can sum this up is something about maybe my frequency that they was able to get the energy off of, and a magnetic pull / frequency charge. So I asked them why, you know, why did that, I asked Spirit, why did that entity want me to see it? Because it could have, I guess it could have fed off my energy without me seeing it. Like, I didn't understand, why did it wake me up? It wanted me to see it. This was very intentional. It stood there, looked dead at me, it had bulging, like it wanted me to see. I said, Spirit, why did it want me to see it? Spirit said, because it's a trickster. This spirit is a trickster. This entity is a trickster. It's deceptive. And I said, in what way? And it said, Spirit said that it wanted to get a reaction from me. They're saying this entity wanted to activate a certain emotional response. So it tricks, I guess it was trying to trick me. It's a trickster. And it wants to get a reaction out of me. I guess they feed off of fear and terror, off those emotions. It wanted to get a reaction from me. And they like to, and it likes to activate a certain emotional response. So it was able to get a certain emotional response out of me, probably by having bulging eyes. Now, remember in a previous video, I mentioned that I did go to a medium. At the time, I wasn't a psychic. I would do tarot cards, but I wasn't where I'm at now. So I would go to mediums. And she said that what she was getting from Spirit was that it really didn't have those big eyes. Like, it naturally didn't look like that. And like I said, when it was looking at me, I don't even remember it blinking. Its eyes was so big, it didn't even blink. It was just these huge eyes looking at me, almost cartoonish looking. It didn't look cartoonish looking, but the eyes were so penetrating and huge, and I don't remember like it blinking, just these huge eyes looking at me. And I was just kind of fixated on the eyes. And so I'm assuming, she said it did that to get a react. Like, I think she said it did that to possibly get a reaction out of me, but it really didn't look like that. So why would it do that? What I'm getting is that it's a trick. It was a trickster, and it wanted to activate a certain emotional response for me. So if it looks scary to me, you know, I'm gonna get scared. I'm gonna feel fear, and so that's what they're telling me. I asked Spirit, why was this allowed to happen to me? They said because my protective shield was down, trial and error. Now, I don't know what they mean by trial and error, but allegedly during this particular night, my protective shield was down. And when I asked Spirit, what lesson can I learn from this? Spirit said, be protective of my energy. And there's energy vampires out here. And that's what they... In elementary school and high school and college, was you taught that we're energy and we got to protect our energy from energy vampires? Was you taught this? Because I sure wasn't. This is exactly what was downloaded in my head. And this didn't come from the tarot cards, okay? This was, I asked Spirit questions and these are the answers I got. A lot of this is kind of scientific to me. We're talking about magnetic charges. We're talking about low frequency, force fields, magnetic pulls, frequency charge. I don't know anything about any of this, but this is the best way they can explain it to me in my human mind. Now what I wanted to do was go pay a visit to this entity and throw down and fight. Like, that's really what I want to come when I pass up. I want to come out of my body, go find it and fight, because I could have been naked in my bed. You know, that is a violation to come to somebody's bedroom in the middle of the night and stand at the foot of their bed, wake them up. Like, how did you even get in my room? It created some type of magnetic charge, like a force field, to come into my room. This isn't a game, you guys. Like, these things make, like, we're not taught about these entities, okay? And it's all different types of entities out here from different dimensions and realms, and they can enter our realm through creating some type of magnetic charge or something. And then some of them feed off our energy. Now, I don't know who these things are. I don't, you know, and I tell you guys, it did not physically touch me. And if you look at these movies that they're showing us, they're showing you that they can manipulate people and control you through mind control. They can get you, they can do this, you all. They don't have to touch you. This thing did not touch me. Some of these entities are energy vampires. And I guess the higher your frequency is, I guess I have a high vibration, high frequency. They use the word frequency. I guess people like me, they like our frequency, but then they want me to, it's just weird. They want to use me as a battery. They want to feed off my energy like they're feeding, they're feeding off, it was feeding off my energy like a battery. Like, imagine me being a battery and it's feeding off my energy. Okay. And it's depleting me. It's taking my energy. But I guess I'm of a certain frequency where I can give it whatever energy it needs or whatever juice it needs. But my ex, he was of a low frequency, which is considered a low. He was considered a low food source. So it didn't want to feed off his energy. I guess it wouldn't have gave it what it needed. And yeah, I'm not able to see the realm that is wherever it's from. They say it's unrecognizable to me. I'm not able to see it or access it currently in this physical body. And yeah, you guys, and they're saying whatever this entity is, wherever it comes from, they're advanced where they can create these magnetic charges, these force fields, and they can come into our realm and feed off our energy. And I guess they choose but they said something about me having my protective shield was down. So somehow trial and error, my shield was down, so it was able to come in and do that to me. And so energy vampires really do exist, you guys, and they will make house visits. They will come to your bedroom at night and bother you. From a human perspective, this thing is demonic to me. I'm sorry. It's a trickster. This is the word they use, trickster. Okay? So I just want to give an update. I don't like leaving cliffhangers out there talking about people coming into your bedroom at night, entities. And I wanted to give some context to this because in case this may happen to you guys, if it has happened, you was afraid to talk about it, or this is so weird to you and uncomfortable. This was a very terrifying experience to me because I didn't know what was going on. I knew something weird was going on. Very demonic, but I didn't know what was going on. And they kind of broke it down to me in more of a scientific way. But yeah, these things are bad though. These are this thing was considered what you would consider energy vampire, but it's a trickster because I guess it does things to get a reaction out of you so you can create a certain emotional response, and then it can feed off your energy. But I guess they only feed off certain people's energy. Think of when we eat food. What food gives you the most energy? Fruits and vegetables and meats, or whatever gives you most energy. Or a bag of potato chips. Whatever gives you the most energy and fuel, you're gonna eat, right? So it's gonna sound sick, but like when it came in my room, I guess it chose between me and my ex, and it felt I had the most energy for it to feed off of. So I was the one it chose to bother that night, and then that's why it woke me up and was bothering me. Total violation. Okay. So yeah, you guys, go see that movie if you like. They clone Tyrone. It's showing you the mind control they can do to us. Okay. That movie, Monsters, they're showing them coming in these kids' bedrooms at night, scaring them intentionally, and then the energy that kids give off when they're in fear. These monsters said it was of a higher quality, and they would capture it in a machine and they would use it for their RAM. All right, so this stuff is, I'm a prime witness to this, where energy vampire, that's what I would consider this thing, came into my room in the middle of the night. So I have identified technically what this thing was. I don't know what you would name it. I would just call it an energy vampire. That's a trickster. It tricks you into like getting a reaction out of you, but it's an energy vampire. And I can officially say it came into my bedroom at night. And what happened? If you experience this, you're not crazy. You're not out of your mind. I'm pretty sure hundreds of other people have experienced this. And maybe they're going after the beings who have what they consider the highest vibration. I don't really know. I don't know. But yeah, this is just an update. And stay tuned for the next video.